So first up, I have Mr. Zimmer.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair, and thanks for our witnesses for appearing today. My questions will be for Dean Gladue. We've known each other for many years, Dean, and I've always known you to be a difference maker. First as a hockey player inspiring young kids from Chetwynd back in the day, then as an RCMP officer, but now as a regional director for Métis Nation BC. You said something to me that really stuck with me many years ago. Blessed are the peacemakers, Dean. And I see you continuing with that call on your life today in Ottawa this time. And we've had conversations about what being Métis means to you. And so what I want to ask you about, for the sake of the committee, what does it mean for you to be Métis, to be respected and recognized as Métis, Dean?
That's a good question. It's a deep question for me because all I know is being Métis. And all my parents know, my Muslim, my grandfather, as far as Cuthbert Grant and beyond, I'm a direct descendant of that. We've known to be who we are. We've known that we've had issues with Canada throughout our history. We've created our own language. We have our own distinct culture and language. We came from of generations of European and First Nations descent. And as a result, we establish our own ways and laws. And we've always practiced our own ways and laws. I was raised as a road allowance kid. I was born in '66, and I was also taken almost by the 60 scoop within minutes. My family, because I had an uncle who can read English, was able to say, no, Moya, they're going to take him away. They're going to steal him. They knew that we were having children stealing from hospitals throughout Canada, and especially also Métis children. My mother was a residential school victim as well, which I didn't even know till 1993 because she wouldn't talk about it, the impacts. So the impacts and policies of Canada definitely affect us deeply and immensely and continue to this day. And I wear this pin proudly as a Métis citizen and as a Métis person because, as they say, you will live and die for your belief. I will live and die for my belief. Neono instotin. We speak the language. We speak the culture. You go back home today and you see people still struggling. My very own family, Naomi's principal, who died of a drug overdose last year, who suffered through her mental illness and her issues and trying to get her the right help. Culturally sensitive weren't available. And as a result, she died in care. And we're going to say that. She was 22 years old. She died within a system that was colonial, built not for her success. So yes, I am here today to say that we are Métis people, and I stand strong about what we believe and what we do, and you need to know our story. And I call us the grassroots Métis, the ones in the trenches, the ones deep, who come from the resistance of 1885, who also understand the struggles we've had in this country. So I believe, as Section 35, we are rights holders, and I stay with that, and that's why I believe I am Métis.
Right, and Dean, and I know you say that as a proud Canadian. You said that as well as a proud Canadian and Métis at the same time.
100%. I want to finish with that. We are Canadian as well, and Métis is what Canada became about. We were here before Canada was even a confederation. Mm. It's about the mosaic. It's about a melting pot of Canada. Right. And it's our time to be heard in who we are. Right. And I'm a strong voice, I am. But to be a strong voice, I have to come through fire. I have to come through storms, and I have. Yeah. I have many scars on my face and my body to show that. But those are hockey scars. But I'm willing to go to battle even in that when I speak that, because I come from a family who knows who we are. Yeah. My grandfather said, Napis, ayapeote, he would say, sit down. Never forget who you come from and who you are. Yeah. I never knew what he meant by that until later in my life. Yeah. Because he had to struggle. And he says, we're the poor cousins in this country. Yeah. Our First Nations brothers and sisters are being heard. We're not. Right. Thank you.
Well said, Dean. And I will add, you still play a bit of hockey once in a while at the odd tournament, hey? And knowing your mom and dad, they're special to me too. Dean and Bill and Blanche is people that just care for their neighbors in Chetwynd. They're just great folks. We spoke about, and you spoke about it in your testimony about the issues around Métis children and being disconnected from their families and in the system. And maybe can you explain that a little bit, what you meant by that? Because it's
first-
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Our Métis children right now in British Columbia, and I'll speak for British Columbia. I'm not here to speak on behalf of Canada and the whole bigger picture, but I do support my brothers and sisters in Ontario, Saskatchewan, and in, as well as in Ontario and Alberta. Métis children in British Columbia are the highest children in Indigenous kids in care right now, and we can stand behind that because we've been preaching that. Right now, we don't know where our children are in British Columbia. If our children were taken away, we have no idea if they're in culturally sensitive homes, who they are. We're still experiencing that. The last few suicides in care have been Métis children in British Columbia. We can know that. A good friend of mine, in fact, is one of his sons. He was put in a hotel because where does he go? It's the hot potato, we call it. First Nations don't want to handle it. Nobody wants to handle it. He's Métis, we can do this. But that's why the culture. So, and us as police officers for 26 years, I saw the devastation of the ramifications of those policies. So I say our and because we don't have a self-government agreement in British Columbia, I believe these are still the consequences of the policies of Canada have been for over 100 years for us.
And I know, Dean, you have
sorry,
hope for
we're
a
out of
better,
time on this,
future, but thanks for your testimony.
Yeah, thank you.